All right, all right. Good evening, Advantage members. What's going on? So it's Tuesday, November 16th, 4:30 p.m. Prices of Bitcoin currently at 61,000 flat. We are still in our Solana long position. Entry around 239, current mark price around 224. So we are obviously down on our position, but as I'd stated before, when it came to Sol, on the daily basis, we are at a very particular inflection point, which is that this is the previous high, and now retesting as support. So if there's any point in which Sol is going to bounce, it's probably here. If not, I would probably figure the market overall is going to have another big flush down, in which case it's going to suck anyway. So might as well, take a long position here, or if you're already long like me, you hang on to that position and see if this level bounces, okay? If I start seeing that maybe on the hourly basis, we keep, I don't know, grinding down like this or start seeing sharp selling, I might cut it manually. But I feel like some of this movement is going to take place at night anyway, so I can't really do a whole lot. I'm just going to leave it be, okay? Sometimes it's better not to tamper with your position too much, going back and forth. You just trust your instinct. And my instinct right now is having my stop right around, I think it was like 207 or something. Let me see. Let me see where I kept my stop. Yeah, 207, right? So it's deep enough where there is no reason why we should be, sinking this deep, right? If we're dumping this low, we're probably putting in a huge wick towards, I don't know, 190s, maybe even as low as, 185, 188, okay? So I'm thinking that I'm going to leave my stop here around 207. This is, in my opinion, a pretty nice consolidation base that we had, a reaccumulation base. We pushed up. Now, I would say in this particular area, we're probably just doing a whole lot of chop here. And now that these stops have been taken, right, it's time to start seeing if we can head back up. Okay. And this is not just for Solana, it could be other things as well. For example, only thing that's really kicking ass in the market right now is AVAX. Okay. Now, if AVAX is doing something like this, that means the market is not completely risk off, meaning there might be some strong flows in the market that are guiding AVAX up higher, and that could be a good thing. This sort of implies that maybe the market is really searching for very unique opportunities to load up on quality altcoins, quality projects, and AVAX could be one of them. Maybe all these ones that are down right now could also be being bought. We just don't know which ones are going to start coming out of this red zone, this bloody day, by the end of this week or next month, right? So you have to kind of do your due diligence, stick to your fundamentals, do your research, and figure out what you want to buy on days like this. What I did was I picked up a few positions in the market, in the DeFi spot buy area. And one was Step, which I picked up around 0.77. And then one was AVAX, which I picked up actually at 94 flat. So I got lucky with AVAX, given that AVAX is already up. How much is AVAX up? From 94 to where we are, almost 7%, right? But again, I'm not taking this trade because I just want to get a quick 7% and I want to get out. I like AVAX because, first of all, it's showing good strength in a market that's looking overall weak, and it's showing, good momentum, right? So I'm thinking I want to be in this trade. So I picked up some AVAX on my main account, and I picked up some Step simply because it's at a very key level, which is this 77-cent level that I've been looking out for. And if y'all remember, I had actually taken AVAX as a trade around 30 cents. I sold around $1.15 or something, or $1.25. So that was like almost a 3-4x that we made. And then now I'm deciding to rebuy some of my Step position. Okay. These are assets that I've been watching for a while. Step, I know very well because I use their platform. AVAX, I know very well because I've used their bridge. I've used things like Pangolin and Trader Joe and Benki. I know how the AVAX ecosystem works. We've written a whole article on AVAX in August. So I'm very aware of how these projects are. Now, you don't want to go out and picking willy-nilly just random things. Make sure you do your research if you do want to start, buying on spot on some of these projects. Okay. Other assets I still think that are good: Cosmos, which is Atom right here. Luna, I still like a lot. Solana, obviously. I like BNB as well. I like FTM a lot. And then Rune, I like a lot as well. Okay, so these are assets that you may want to do some research on just in case you are interested in buying some spot. Okay. Other than that, this is a very good synopsis on the market over the last few days, as well as today, on what's been going on. What are some negative things, risks that are being baked into the market, such as the inflation print that we saw last week, which was 6.2%, basically kind of telling the world like, okay, consumer prices are going up and goods are going up, so clearly there's inflation in the system. SEC rejected the Van Eck spot Bitcoin ETF. We know that was not going to be good news either. Taproot upgrade for BTC, not really the greatest reaction from the market, right? And then, of course, today, China stating that the National Development of Reform Commission reiterated their firm no crypto stance, basically claiming that virtual cryptocurrency mining is extremely harmful for the environment. And then obviously, some tax implications on crypto signed by Joe Biden, and then just other things that are really just being baked into the market as potential risks, inflation being a risk, the market being extended to, just absurd highs, not only in crypto, but in the stock market. And then finally, more so in the granular level, we have sort of a, leverage being cleaned up over the last, month or so, where we were sitting at a high of $54 billion in the beginning of November in terms of open interest. And that is now slowly going down. We are currently at 54, from 54 to 44 billion, which is almost a 15 to 20%, pullback in open interest. So that means leverage is obviously dropping. And here's, another way where you can look at how much leverage has climbed basically since the bottom that we put in here in July. Right? So once we put in a bottom here in July, you can see leverage kept climbing, open interest kept climbing. And this is really, where I wanted to see somewhat of a pullback in the market. And obviously that's what we're seeing across the board, whether it be BTC, other altcoins, basically, really everything crypto related. Okay. Now, the other way you can kind of look at the market is, so you can kind of do this, right? And add the indicators. Let's see if they have stablecoin margin contracts and, oops. Oh, these are liquidations though. Where's the open interest? There it is. Okay. I don't need this one. Okay. So let's go on this on a daily basis. Okay. So here's what this is. All right. Stablecoin margin contract is if you are in, say, USD on FTX or USDT on Bybit or BitMEX or Binance, right? And you are taking on levered long positions in BTC. That is a stablecoin margin contract. If you have BTC and you post BTC as collateral, right? And then you take on a levered position in BTC, or, I mean, technically, really, you can look at this coin margin contract as in FTX. You could look at it as Ethereum or XRP or other altcoins that people are buying, but using that as collateral to buy levered longs in BTC. Why is there a separation in these two open interests? Well, it is because when the stable coin margin contracts are going up like this in open interest, and if you start seeing, say, more of a flat, area in coin margin contract, that means that the market is not as risky. Because think about it like this: if you're buying Bitcoin and ETH spot, then you take that spot, you put it on Binance or Bybit or FTX, and you say, let me take this Bitcoin and ETH spot and lever up more. Okay. That shows that there is not only coin a collateral, but coin margin contract are actually going up. Okay. But let's just say you are fully in cash and you have USD or USDT, and you're just using that USD and USDT to buy levered long positions because that's what you feel safe with. Well, then this open interest going up is not as risky as, say, this open interest going excessively up. Okay. Now, the global open interest that I just showed you guys earlier, which was around 54 billion and now come down to 44, is actually cumulative of this and this. It's actually everything on every exchange of every coin. So that tells us that what we really want to see is overall, if you go here on the futures data, global charts, you want to see overall open interest, okay, across all exchanges. You want to start seeing that come down because that is the first big sign that leverage is getting cleaned up, whether it's stable coin margin contracts or coin margin contracts. Okay, I hope that's clear. So that's why we just want leverage to get cleaned up, and it is. We also know that we had a decent amount of liquidations in the past 24 hours. Last week, we also had about 600 million in liquidations. Funding rates have now come down a significant amount from last week. So we know for the most part, the market is going in the right direction. Does that mean, however, that we are done selling here? I don't really think so, at least not right now. We may have another pop up here, but we want to make sure that if we get to around 62, 63,000, just under this marker, right? You want to see price hold above this monthly open. Okay. If we could do that and build a base up here, chances are in December, we can start heading up higher. Okay. If we get up here and we get sharply rejected back under the monthly open, chances are we might head back towards these lows and maybe even lower lows. Okay. But for now, let's see if we can build a base here. Okay. One of the larger concerns that I have is there's some baboon here selling like, it's nobody's business on Bitfinex. I don't know what this person's game plan is. I don't know what their intention is, but they have a shit ton of money and they just keep selling. You can see that reflected right here in Bitfinex CVD. This is cumulative volume delta. And you can see there's just an aggressive amount of selling that's taken place over the last 24-hour period, especially over the last 8-hour period. Someone is just selling big, and I don't know what's going on, but clearly, there's some form of, sell pressure that's coming from Bitfinex that the market overall just cannot swallow right now. Okay, so it is what it is, right? We know at least the culprit is someone on Bitfinex, and once we start seeing the selling die down, then we may maybe assume that the market is possibly bottoming. Okay. Remember that you don't want to just start seeing signs of aggressive buying. You just want to see selling conclude in this area. And then you want to see buying slowly occur. And you don't want to see, if buying is occurring, you don't want to see selling just come in and just start nuking price as price climbs. Okay. You want to see just consistent buying and chewing through each of these walls. If you look closely, see this wall right here? That's 150 BTC at 62,800. Over here, this is 63,450, another 118 BTC, another 100 at 63,950, another 100 at 64.5, another 108 at 64.9. So you can see someone is stacking up 400 to 500 BTC on the way up. These are going to be tough to chew through for now, right? We're going to have a tough time to get up through them. But once we start seeing the selling die down, and we start seeing consistent buying, a reaccumulation base building, then we know the selling is done. Then we know that, okay, the market has quite possibly bottomed and we should start heading back up. Okay. On a daily basis, I already told y'all, we've hit a key area, this SR level around 59,000, which also happens to be around this 50-day moving average. All in all, good signs, right? I mean, it's kind of, what you should be expecting, which is a nice bounce at the 50-day moving average. Historically, BGC on the way up, 50-day moving average has been very healthy as long as price stays above it. When you start breaking below it, things can start getting really, really ugly, right? Last time we broke below the 50-day MA was mid-April, broke through it. tried to reclaim above it, and then sold off aggressively, right? Even over here, this was a failed attempt to suppress price lower, but once price climbed above it, right around 47, we took off, right? From 47, we basically went straight to 67. Okay, so once again, sitting at 50-day MA. Let's see how things go, okay? So we talked about QCP capital, we talked about funding rates, global open interest, individual coin margin contracts, stable coin margin contracts, BTC levels, let's see, altcoins. I mean, I think across the board, things are looking rough. But again, I would not start putting on levered trades yet. We don't really know how things are going to pan out through the week. But if you are going to put on levered trades, be careful with your sizing. All right. Be careful with your, emotions as well. I wrote up, sort of a post, what was it, earlier today or yesterday for Advantage members, and I had to post on Twitter because I know people are probably making a lot of mistakes, losing a lot of money, taking a lot of risk in times like this. So I really encourage you guys to be careful, not take excess risk in these high volatile environments. If you've been part of our community for a while, we are very careful and size our trades properly and make sure that we never put our account, our P&L at risk, right? We just make sure that you're taking small, consistent wins for months and years on straight, and that's how you build real wealth over time. Okay, so point is, I wrote this in a thread, and I just want to mention that if you are dealing with just making mistakes, feel free to ping me. I'm more than happy to help you. More than happy to walk you through your mistakes and see if we can fix them together. Okay, that's what you were paying for in the service, right? Any monkey can draw a bunch of lines and tell you, well, if it's not this line, then it's going to bounce here. If it's not that one, it's going to bounce there, right? But the point is, are you a trader that's making money consistently? Are you someone who can manage his or her emotions? Are you someone that can play this game for a long period of time without getting bogged down or depressed or, feeling like you're blowing up entire accounts? And if you're not, then this is why we're here, right? This is why we've created this community to help people such as yourself to make sure that you can build a better trader out of yourself, a better investor out of yourself. Okay. It's really just about being patient, grinding day in and day out for weeks, months, and quite possibly years. Okay. All right, folks, that's all I got. Not going to lecture you anymore. You guys are big boys, big girls. So if you need anything, hit me up. Other than that, let's see how the market goes over the next period of this week. Okay. Cheers, everybody. Good luck. We'll talk soon.